support. And we did that for about like 5 months. And then I went to Singapore Breakpoint and met the team, helped out with a bunch of interviews and marketing stuff. And they're like, all right, you're coming over and we're stealing you from support to marketing. And I've been there since, and we've grown our account now 250,000 users. We've onboarded so many people, supported ecosystems and super teams throughout Solana and the world. And I couldn't be more excited to be on this journey. And I know the market sentiment has been a little rough the past few months, but these are the perfect times to build and network and really tap in, because a lot of these teams are accessible. And I'm definitely excited to be here and working with Super Team Brazil and you guys. So yeah, make sure to hop in the chat, show love and support, and ask any questions also. Feel free.
Amazing, 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 mate. I'll just share the link with the live in a few groups that we have from the Coliseum Garage and the Super Team members, so everyone can be here with us today. But that's it. Like, also, Sigs, do you want to say something here? He's on my side. Like, I can feel that. Like, I know him. You know him. I think he want to say a few words. Like, please.
Excuse me.
Hey, this is a familiar face right now.
It's so good to see you, man, and you look handsome. I like the new haircut, and you look just like a gentleman in foremost.
Thank you. I told my barber, I said, make me look exactly like Sigs. And he said, oh, I got you, fam.
Oh, brother, I wish I could have 1% of your handsome traits. It's good to have you here with us, Quakes. It's amazing to have Solflare um, supporting Super Team again, and you can't wait for what we're having in the next 3 weeks. This is only the warm up, the online week. There's great names like you. Today, later, we have Anna from Perena, and we're bringing great names with this composability in the ecosystem. So I'm just passing around to give a kudos on you and Shimas, because this man has been working a lot to make this happen.
You both have. And I think that Super Team Brazil and Super Team, the ecosystem, is extremely lucky to have Sigs and Shimas working so hard, onboarding so many people. And it's so cool seeing, from meeting you guys in Island out in Greece to being able to hop on my Seeker device and download Cloak. Like, I saw the presentation when it was still a pitch deck, and now it's an app on my Seeker that I'm using. And so I love you guys, man. I think what you're building and what you're creating and curating is so beautiful. I'm excited to be a part of it. I love Anna, but I'm going to try my best to make it hard to follow up this Fox, dude. And you're going to, you better you better put glasses on when you meet her, dude, because it's going to, she's going to be working out your brain, dude, because very, very smart. A lot's been going on in the stablecoin ecosystem, so she's definitely got a lot of advice and good points to make.
Yeah, it's great to have her with us. And now it's your turn with Shimas. So I won't take the time of you guys. It's a blessing to have you here. And I told you already, but I make a point to repeat it. You are so inspiring. Like, you are a person that brings me a lot of inspiration, and I want just to be like Quicks. So
I'm just a fox. I'm just a fox, man.
Enjoy the fox, dude, because we could took this fox out of the den, and he's here in Super Team Brazil with us. Quicks, best regards. Thank you so much. Kudos on you, Cody. We're gonna have Gabs from Solflare team. He's gonna come into the house. So thank you so much again for all the Solflare team for supporting the garage and Super Team Brazil one more time. Thank you.
Man, we love you. Thank you, Sigs. It means the world to me.
Okay.
W's in the chat for Sigs, guys. Absolute legend.
I'm back.
Let's go.
We have the legends here. We have a big friend of us here. You know him? This one?
Wait, let me see.
Ace.
Ace. Hey. I'll be seeing him really soon also.
You guys will be in Miami, right?
I think he's coming to Miami. if he's allowed, well, that's first. I don't know if he filled out his permission slip or not with wifey, but he'll definitely. I'm hoping that he's coming to Island Owl.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like pretty much like a
If
non-negotiable.
he's not in Island Out, I wouldn't believe it. Like it wouldn't be the same. He wouldn't do that with us.
Yeah, no, we need him there. That would be a problem.
We have Gabs in the chat also. We have Diego. Diego is one of the co-leads from Chat Latam. So pleasure to have you here with us, Diego, too. Amazing. We have Ravi. Oh, nice. Kalash. Victor. Cloaks in the house. Nice, guys. Nice. Happy to see you all here. Raf's also from Chat. Pleasure to have you here, Raf, with us. Raf is an amazing guy, always helping here with the Solana house. We have the best community, I'm not gonna lie. Defense team also around. So, guys, to start our day, I was talking with Quix. He's not just an amazing person. That's definitely important for us to have the friendship we have. I like good people like him, but he's also an amazing professional. One of the most resilient and how can I say that? There's no free time. Every time it's time to work. Like I remember being with this guy throughout events around the world, like Breakpoint included, Island Dow included, and he just don't stop. We were going to have dinner. Oh no, today I can't. I have a live. I have a podcast. I have something that I have to do. He's a machine. I really know him, so I know he's an amazing person. Because otherwise, I would say he's not human. Like he's always working. He's always on time. He's always on top. So it's good and it's truly inspiring to see people with so much determination and so much professionalism. This make us want to do the same. Like when we are with him, like I always want to push a little bit more. Like because when you see people pushing, you want to push too. Like okay, if the other one is pushing, we need to push. Like everyone needs to do the best. And this makes a good environment where everyone is pushing and we have the best from everyone. So enjoy what all the knowledge and everything, like the experience that Solquix can share with us, not just about marketing. He can speak a little bit about there. He can speak a little bit of Solflare. But in the end, he's a guy that's always working and always supporting people in every area, not just marketing, like he did, tapping connections, doing everything that he needs to do to grow the ecosystem, like and push Solflare to 1 billion users with Solana. So we're gonna be there, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be the guy that will make it happen. So with you guys, like you can start like talking a little bit about like what do you think. Something that I would like to ask you actually, because a lot of companies, Quicks, we were speaking a little bit of this. They only need like one client. When you're working B2B, you just need sometimes one client to make things happening. But when you were talking about users, it's a different marketing. It's a different company. It's a different strategy. So, what could you say? Like, what are, what was your biggest challenges adapting to this like reality? Like, users every day, new users every day. How can you do it? Like, what's your
So
view?
that's a really good question, Shimas. And first, I want to double click on what you had just mentioned earlier. I appreciate the flowers, but the hard work is extremely important, especially in this space. This is one of the spaces that truly does reward when you put in the hard work. Because when that saying like hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, it's never truer than it is in crypto. And just by showing up every day, providing value, you'll create so many opportunities for yourself. But to the question of marketing, so this is like marketing 101, like how do you obtain more users? In the example you gave where you just need one client, let's say you're a consulting firm or something, you don't have a product where you need to onboard millions of users like with Solflare. But just like with Solflare, it starts with your first 10 users. And I'll use our community as an example because that's probably a little bit more having been closer to today's date, has been more relevant. So when we first started our community, each of our ambassadors were tasked with onboarding 15, like hand selecting 15 people to join our community. So it started with those initial, I think it was like 300 community members at the time. And from there, we started branching out, but we kept paying attention and rewarding the users that were active, that were contributing to the ecosystem, that were providing value. And it's the same as we do with the wallet, just on a smaller scale. Like if you think about it, the biggest friction point, like you asked, is education, right? Because what's our product? We have a self-custody digital wallet for Solana. Like what's the benefit? It's self-custody. You get to own your own assets, and participate in blockchain technology. And that's how you're also rewarded. And we're trying to make it as seamless as possible for our users. So how do we onboard the next billion users? Honestly, one conversation at a time at this point, because education, again, is the hugest barrier that we face at Solflare for onboarding new users, is the safety that users will feel with putting their money into the Solflare wallet, interacting with dApps. Still, a lot of our users, a good majority of them, still don't interact with dApps. So we do our best to provide new updates to explore and feature dApps that go through rigorous security measures and audits, so that we connect with them with Solflare. Our users feel safe with their assets and tokens. And we also build in a lot of features like our new Solflare card, for example, that's very popular in Brazil right now because it's a great off-ramping mechanism where you can spend your stable coins in Solana at your local grocery stores, goods and services, pay bills, and it's all tied to your Solflare self-custody wallet, which you remain in complete control of. And that's something that I stand for, and that's something like a hill I'll die on, is I truly believe self-custody is a basic human right. And I love Solana because it's the everything markets. It used to be the internet capital markets, but it's truly the everything markets. Because if you have a seeker device or a phone and Wi-Fi, you have access to stocks, to gold, silver, IPOs, all of these amazing stable coins and yields and DeFi protocols. So it truly is like crypto is like financial transparency, like all these rails like are financial like everything's on chain, but at least of financial sovereignty. And it gives people, like in Brazil, where you experience inflation with the local currency like the real, the opportunity to access these markets and build and not only deploy your projects, but if you need to raise capital, for example, or do seed rounds, or even participate again in like any of these aspects of the Solana ecosystem. And Solflare just literally is trying to help push the Solana ecosystem forward, which is why we're always trying to help out with all the super teams. Like shout out Simon in the chat, CM Super Team Canada. Man, it's just if you haven't joined your local super team or seeing how you can get involved, or if you're watching this call and you're in Brazil and you haven't figured out how you can be part of Super Team Brazil, like you're falling behind. Like you might as well just delete all of your AIs and wait to go get replaced. Because it's a disservice to yourself. These super teams, like, and what Sigs and Shimas are building with the garage is like the future. And you're gonna see the next $100 million, billion-dollar companies most likely come out of these super teams and like projects like Garage. So you guys have huge opportunities to build, to contribute, and I'm excited to be here today. It's an exciting time, to be honest. Like you guys should still be excited. Like we used to. Like I remember when Solana was like $13, $14, man. So now, like, even if it's at like 80 something, like it's still a huge dub from like where we were at and where we've been, and there's still so many big things coming. And I know things got bad, like with the Drift protocol hack, but then bim, now today Solana Foundation and Tether are working with $157 million recovery plan, with more possibility to raise even more funds. And so like this ecosystem very much is growing. And that's why I wear the suit now, because we're suits, because we've adopted finance. This is what we talked about, like onboarding institutions, Franklin Templeton, ETFs, PayPal, stablecoin, Visa onboarding. Now in X, we have
BlackRock,
hashtags.
JP Morgan.
The list goes on, man, and so like it's here. So we're suits now. I'm a suit. But, that's until we start giving them some sweet merch, like my Super Team Brazil jersey that's limited edition.
But I think you were so on point, Quix, because something that we can address to the audience of the hackathon is to start like you guys did, you don't need to start everywhere. You need to find your niche and start right, like with communities. Find good communities, find good people on board one by one. You don't need to have a million users by tomorrow. You need to grow like steadily. You need to have consistency. That's what makes companies thrive, right? Like it's not you're not gonna conquer Rome in one day, but if you go to war every fucking day, you're gonna win that war. Like, and I think for marketing, it's good. Like, so if you're developing a project now for the hackathon, you don't need to have a billion users to test your thesis. You don't need a billion users to get traction. You know, like you need to have like good people, good communities, like Quick said, that will be the next ones that will be onboarding and evangelizing people. So
I
I
couldn't agree
think
more. Like 10 or 100 active users that are giving you positive and constructive criticism and feedback is more valuable than like 10,000 users as like a vanity metric number in the beginning. So especially if you're a new startup founder, focus on curating those first 10 100 users, build from there, show the proof of concept is, and then you'll be able to, it's a snowball effect after that. That's like probably the best advice, for building in this space, Shimas.
amazing. So before we jump like in more like marketing stuff, how did you get here? Like, how did you get into marketing? Like, that's something that I always want to talk to you. But we always had so many things to talk that I never had the opportunity to really ask you. Like, how the hell did you get here? Like, what was your journey until like, okay, now I'm the famous fox of the world. Like, that was a journey. How was this
Uh,
journey? Like, where did you have like any background in marketing? What was your ideas before joining this crazy ride?
Man, it's been quite a journey. It's a long story, but I'll try to keep it as short as possible. So I used to work for Red Bull before this. So I was an account manager. So I had like a multi-million-dollar route in Palm Beach County that I was responsible for. So that's where I get my strong work ethic from. But I never had a finance degree or any computer science degree. I never went to school for this. I went to school for like political science and sociology and ended up working at Red Bull anyway. So it shows like how your future can change. But I just showed up every day. The ecosystem fascinated me. I was completely fascinated with the technologies, with NFTs, DeFi. And so I was hosting spaces like religiously. And it got to the point where I had to choose between like, okay, there's a possibility I could work full time in crypto, or I can continue my job safe, with, off on weekends, medical package, 2 week holiday a year, bearish. So we quit the job. We moved to Southeast Asia because that was close to where Singapore was, and Singapore was too expensive. So we lived in like Southeast Asia for a few months before Breakpoint. And within like a week of like living in there, never been there, by the way, didn't know anyone because just it was close to Singapore. And I wanted, like, something was compelling me to make it to Breakpoint. Made it to Breakpoint. But like a week into living in Asia, I got hired as a support specialist, learned that, then got brought over to marketing after Breakpoint, learned socials, marketing. So we did spaces. Then I started learning streaming. Now I go to the events and learn business development. So it's been like a constant leveling up. And if you're willing to learn and provide value and put your time and energy into something, the space rewards that. And there are people that are more than willing to share their knowledge. Like me, for example, I'm more than willing to hop on calls with people that are building in the space or trying to get advice and, help them advance to the next stage. And I think that's what it's about. I try to surround myself with people like that. And I'm constantly always asking people questions, not asking for things, asking them for knowledge, asking them to share their insight on how these things are done so I can understand the ecosystem better. And so I've always been, and Solflare is just an amazing culture. It's like a family. So everyone in our team, you feel like you could talk to like your brate, like your brother. And so it feels, very much like I can approach anyone and ask them for advice. And I learn so much. And so I've always been trying to take on new responsibilities and try to grow in the ecosystem and in Solflare. And the famous Fox thing. So my PFP is a famous Fox Federation. It's an NFT on Solana. We're extremely bullish. We just flipped DGods. But I always wore it for like 5 years now. Oh my God, it's been 5 years. 5 years been rocking like the Fox NFT, right, as my PFP. Haven't changed it. I just changed my suit, but it was part of the collection. That was always the grand vision, was to upgrade to the suit. Now I'm a suit. So when I went to Crossroads. Yeah, it was Crossroads in Istanbul. At the very last minute, Bangers asked me, she goes, my co-host just dropped out of the closing ceremony roast. Will you host it with me and Ansem? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And so at the very last minute, they were asking me for my headshot. They said, can you please send us your headshot for the screen? And it's going to be like live stream with everyone. I said, sure. And I sent them a picture of my Fox. And Ansem and Bangers both had like their like headshot. And everyone, usually when you're at speakers and panels, like they have their nice little headshot, LinkedIn profile picture. So I sent my Fox. And so there was the picture of me on stage with Bangers and Ansem, and it was just my Fox behind me with their other PFPs. And so I was like, now it's become like, I've become the most famous Fox of the famous Foxes. And like I host the weekly space, like we have it tonight with Drax, shout out Foxes, 10 p.m. every Thursday. But yeah, that's the story of how I became the most famous Fox and how I kind of grew in the ecosystem, was just willing to work hard, willing to travel and put myself in uncomfortable positions, and willing to constantly learn. And I'm like a big believer that if you want to like do something you've never done, you have to be someone you've never been. And that requires change. That requires growing pains. And it's difficult. It's never easy to like grow and learn something new. It's frustrating. You're going to mess up. You're going to be scared. You're going to get criticism. But it's all about how you react to it. And, I try to react positively, and I try to think like, okay, like this was bad, but you know what? This is how I'm going to improve and get better next time. And then I show up next time, and I don't let that past failure kind of deter me from continuing and pursuing the craft. Like right now it's streaming. Like I'm extremely focused on streaming. And so I'm trying everything I can to level up. I've been, watching, other like big streamers, learning the production elements of it, learning sound engineering now, which I'm still foxing up. And it's a process, but it's on the other side of this, I've developed now a skill that's extremely valuable for the future. And that's also something you should be focusing on. If you're watching this right now, you should be using this time to develop your skills you'll be able to monetize in the future. Because right now, like, okay, you may not have capital to deploy, like there may not be like a lot of job opportunities and money going around, but if you develop the skills right now, especially around like AI, you will be extremely successful this next cycle. Because it's all cycles. You know what I mean? We'll be in a bear market, we're going to be in a bull market, we'll go back to another bear, especially if you're here for the long term. We're going to experience more of this. So just try to hold strong during these times, learn and perfect your skills. These next cycles you can monetize. And once all these big projects and teams and companies and organizations start using blockchain technology with everything, specifically Solana, where do you think they're going to go to first? They don't teach us in schools. There's no degree for Solana. There might be some online university blockchain, but it's a scam. You know what I mean? And none of it's accredited. You learn from being in this space, from networking, from going to events, for providing value for projects and teams, and consistently learning. Because the space is always changing also. What works with marketing this week is not going to work next week. And what works with marketing on X doesn't correlate to YouTube or Reddit or, any of the other socials. You know what I mean? So it's constantly learning, constantly pivoting. We're building planes as we're flying them. We've always been doing that. This is Solana. So be always, it's a lot of hard work, man. I'm going to be honest. It's now that I think about it, I don't want to sugarcoat it. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of time and dedication and sacrifice that you have to make in this space. But the reward is
hard choices.
Everything. Yeah, dude, it is. Like what you're doing right now, man.
Yeah.
You're making super hard choices right now, man. And you're giving up your time and sacrificing your energy and your time and your finances still, but what's on the other side,
Yeah. I think like, of course, your story also inspires people to understand that you don't need to be a developer to join forces. Like I think this is quite important to make it clear to everyone that's with us here, because all the companies like Solflare, the most important wallet in Solana, they need developers, of course, but they need guys from marketing as Quicks. They need guys from ops, from finance, sales, social media, because I think that was one of the first things that I tried to push here in Super Team Brazil, to Kuka and the guys, was explaining like the differences between social media and marketing. Because okay, you're doing marketing, so you're taking care of our social media. Okay, I can take care of social media. That's part of the marketing area, but that's not marketing itself. Like it's attention. Like it's where we get attention, but marketing is more than that. It's a strategy, it's like presence, it's branding, there's a lot of other things that we have in marketing that we need to understand and step up to because I saw a lot of projects. Okay, but I have a Twitter, I have a social media, but what you're doing, like only posting on Twitter, like without being, as you say, present in events, talking to people, getting to know the ecosystem, putting hands on things to work, like work hard, like you need to do so many things and to understand and to learn so many things that in the end, like you can do like everything now. Like now you feel much more safe to execute a lot of areas of the marketing side, because you've been through all of them, and now it's easy to think clearly. Okay, if I do that, that's what I'm getting, and that's what maybe we will get in a few months. So it's easy to understand the process. It's about like process is something really important that people they only focus in results and they don't understand the process. And the process is what make us level up. When you get to know and understand the process of everything,
I think we say that because we're older now, dude. You know, because
yeah, yeah,
younger quicks is like Fox the process. I want this as fast as the Solana transaction, and so, but it's true, and I think especially if you're in Super Team Brazil and you're not taking advantage of learning from Shimas, from SIGs, like again, you're doing a huge disservice to yourself. You know, you might as well not even be using AI because like people in this ecosystem have so much knowledge and experience that they could pass along to you, and they're willing to, but you have to ask the questions without expecting anything in return. Like this isn't like trying to get a job. This isn't trying to get money or an airdrop or, into some alpha chat. This is trying to develop your skill set and be the most well-rounded in whatever you're trying to do in the space. Whether that's like with marketing, whether you want to be a developer, whether you want to be in community or running with socials or business development, you need to start mapping that out. And there's plenty of opportunities, but you have to put in the work and the sacrifice to show that you can deliver the value before you actually get a monetizable opportunity. And sometimes that involves doing like a lot of free work and working weekends or nights, or having to do calls at like weird hours because teams in Asia or something. And so if you're willing to make those sacrifices, the space rewards it. And so that's where, if you're like me, your shortcomings of lack of education with computer science, with technology, with finance will make up for it in the work that you're putting in, if you're willing to also learn and put in that work. And they're like Seamus is always down, man. There's never been a time I've ever sent Seamus a message or asked him for a call and he hasn't responded to me like with almost instantly, almost as fast as Solana. And so this is an amazing time. All of these founders and teams and people in the ecosystem that you want to emulate or be like or develop skills like are accessible. So reach out, get that advice, but then apply it. Because then I also see a lot of people that will hop on calls with me or we do spaces and I'll give advice like this, but then they don't apply it. And I'll even map out exactly what they need to do, like the roadmaps to success if you wanted to build like a successful Twitter space. And I'm showing them how to, Google Calendar invites, scheduling, reminder 48 hours before, confirming with your guests before, like, and making sure you have stable internet connection. And then it's maybe like a week, they'll apply things, but you don't see that instantaneous growth. And that's where most people are put off in the space. It's the same with anything in this space. It's like very linear, all of a sudden it just starts taking off, but it takes time of like steady, almost no growth before it starts really taking off. And that's with any project, with any team, and also you and your skills that you're developing.
yeah. What you said made me remember the last build station we had. I was helping some teams with marketing and the building public side of it. That was important to show everyone, to show judges. You were not someone just trying to scam and get some grant and leave. So building in public is important, showing background, showing who are the founders. And a lot of those guys, after posting, they for a week, they come to me, okay, I posted, but nothing's happening. And I always tell them, okay, like, wait, you were posting for a week, and that's the only thing you're doing. Are you trying to get to know other founders? Are you sending DMs? Are you answering? Are you replying to other guys' projects? Are you getting into calls, or just like posting on Twitter and hoping that at some point someone would look at you and say, "Okay, you are the guy. I'm gonna support you. Let's grow this account." Like, it's people think like social media is just about posting. Like, you need to do so many other things around to get people's attention, to bring people closer. And you were perfect with what you said. Like, I completely agree. Like, they want the result, and they want the result now. Okay, everyone wants it, but how can we do that and in a sustainable way? Because I believe that when you do things too fast, it's not because of lucky, because of course, like, maybe your environment helped you to achieve that, but usually good results without process, you cannot scale, or you cannot like replicate
Replicate. Yeah.
not in another company or another case. So understanding, that's why I'm so crazy about processes and understanding, and like, because when you understand something, you can apply to other areas, you can apply to other companies, you can scale. But if you just go viral because you were lucky on a tweet, you probably won't be able to keep it along the way. Like, you will keep
Exactly.
losing
There's no
attention.
fast track to success. Yeah, because
Yeah,
hype is fleeting, you know. So even if you go viral that one time, you pop off. To sustain it, again, it takes years of curating your account, supporting people in the ecosystem, getting noticed, you know. And so that's people just want to sidetrack all that, go from a couple thousand followers to 1 million followers, monetize with brand deals within a week. It takes years, years, and still, even then, it's like, what kind of account do you want to grow? You know, and I've never like botted my account, you know, and I have like I'm at like 15,000 followers, but it's all solid followers in the ecosystem, large projects and teams and founders, important people with badges and stuff. All, you know, what's his name? John Cena, of course, he follows me. But and that's, it takes years of like supporting, doing spaces in the bear market, you know, replying, you know, commenting on posts, providing feedback, you know, and that's it.
truly
And
connecting,
investing,
truly connecting to people,
yeah,
right?
truly connect and be yourself. Like, connecting isn't like replying to someone like GM Quicks, you know, like that's not connecting, dude. That's just like replying and like just vanity metric, you know,
Yeah.
like actually provide an intake, you know, provide interest, you know, and that's, be authentic, be yourself, you know, and that's like the best way you can.
Yeah, and be real, because
Yeah,
it's okay people don't like you. I'm okay with that. I know that a lot of people won't like me, and that's life. I'm not a bad guy. I try to be the best that I can every day, but I know people, a lot of people will just not like me. That's how life goes. But I live for the ones that like me, that want to get along with me and build with me, and like, I focus much more on these people. And I think like, that's something that attracted me to marketing, because you don't need to understand everybody, but if you understand niches, you can get successful. Like, and something that Six is here. He wants to show you something. We are preparing in the garage. I'll show you during the week. But there's a place, a wall, that will be the super members wall for the Super Team Brazil members. And
I gotta put my fox on that wall. My fox gotta go on that wall somewhere, dude.
bro, please, bro. We have Absolute Solana here with us. It will be on the wall. We will have the Solana dog that's living with us, Beethoven. So Be will
Oh,
be in the wall.
oh, so
Be, come
handsome.
here, Be.
Oh,
Come here.
Bay's so handsome. Yeah, yeah, let's turn this into a dog stream. Yeah,
Here.
bullish.
We have
Six.
Be here. We have
Oh
Be
my
here
gosh,
with us.
bro, he's so handsome.
Yeah,
Look at
it's the
him.
Solana dog.
Hey,
He will be
bud.
here, the whole
Oh,
garage with us. Yes, yes.
oh, I can't wait to see him soon.
We
Let me
have
give him a little
Cigaros,
Yeah, we have six.
but
No, no, wait. Let's show him.
treat.
Let's show
Dude,
him
bald
all
six though, it was pretty crazy during
Solflare.
breakpoint. Oh, let's go.
Solflare
Solflare.
crown. It's gonna be
In
in the
every wall of
wall.
the kingdom, on every headed crown. Bullish.
Another Solflare crown.
Let's go.
We have Shimas.
I'll be there in the
Also,
wall.
we
That's
have
classic,
Kuka.
yeah.
But I'll let him show you this.
But this I made especially for you.
No way.
You will be in the
Hey!
wall with
Dude!
us.
Oh
The
my
suit
God.
version and the fox version.
Let's
We'll have
go.
we will have you
Oh
with
my
us in the
gosh.
wall.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
I always tell people that you are half Brazilian. You just don't know it. But I know that some part of your family at some point was here because you have our energy, bro. Like we got. Uh, I tell everyone like I'm pretty sure that Islandale wouldn't be the same without your reception. The way the energy you had and the love you showed to us was so unreal and so at the same time so real that made things so special from that time on. And you have not a place on the wall, you have a place on our hearts. And of course you would be in the wall with us like that. There's no other way to think the super team Brazil wall without you.
Dude, that means so much to me. I literally have chills right now, man. I'm truly honored. I can't wait to see it IRL in a few more months, and I'm excited to see you in like a month or so. And I think that man, I knew immediately when I met you guys. You know, you could just I meet a lot of people, and I've been to a lot of events, and you pick up a lot on energy. And as soon as I met you guys, even though you had just traveled from the other side of the world to where we were, like you had just traveled so much, like I understood how much you sacrificed. You guys were just so excited to be there. Like the kids couldn't wait to take out their laptops, you know, they're not jumping the pool and like go to the beach. Like they couldn't wait to start shipping. And I immediately knew something was really special about this group that you had. And I'm glad that we got to meet and spend that time together. And we developed lifelong friendships and family, man. And you showed me how barbecue truly is supposed to be done. I'm excited to put on some weight coming up soon in Brazil. You gotta make sure I stay at my gym arc, okay? Because like also a big thing about today with like growth is it's important that you're also surrounding yourself with people that are trying to level up, you know, people that are also trying to help provide like either value in the ecosystem or level up in their career, and not like in an extracting opportunistic way, in you know, in a way that they're willing to share knowledge with you. Like these are the people that you want to surround yourself around. And also be wary about the people that are just like the yes people that are just going to say like, oh yeah, the app looks great, you know, everything's fine, no issues, you know, like what do you mean, you know, like be honest, tell me exactly
I
how
need
you
your
feel about
feedback.
it. Yeah, we need that, especially when you're this early in the game and you're building. So and that's important, is to have people that are going to be honest with you and take that honesty not as FUD, not as that your app is bad, but just that this user is experiencing pain points. When you onboard the next 100 10,000 users, there's a good chance some of those people are going to experience the same type of pain points as this user. So it's important to address it now, take that criticism early before it becomes a wider scale, and then it becomes FUD. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
I think people sometimes they how can I say they always want something, and I just want to be happy. The people want something in return. People want something, you know, like I learned it that I don't need much to be happy. I need good friends. I need good people surrounding me. I need to be um occupied mentally with something that I inspires me, that makes me bullish. And we are living something an era that makes me bullish. Uh, and I want to show more people that like we are not rich. It's not about getting billionaire. It's about living quality life with good people that, like you said, that after a while, like when you have a good group, you see that everyone is leveling up. You just like do you're naturally leveling up too because everyone is pushing. So you said something really important. You need to surround yourself with good people. with people that want to see you grow, not like push you down. Like, and
Something important
this,
also, bro. Like, don't chase the money. That's something so important.
yeah,
Chase your passion. The money's gonna come. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. You know, like it's only impossible till it's done. So like, don't like, believe in yourself and have chase your passion. Don't worry about the money. You know what I mean? Like that's a byproduct of like success. When you're successful and when you're do something that you're passionate about, it doesn't feel like work. It's really, I work every single day and I love what I do. And at the end of the year, they yell at me because I don't take any vacation, and I don't care. You know, I take that, you know, because you know, and I'm not like rich at all, dude. I'm streaming from my mom's house right now while I'm in between like traveling and stuff and visiting my dog, you know. So it's not like, you know, I have like millions, but I'm chasing my passion and I'm doing what I love, and try to focus also on the legacy, man, because you can never take the money with you. You can't. The Solana will stay staked, but you'll eventually leave here. So it's how you leave here and the legacy that you create and the lives that you've been able to change and impact, and if you left the world a better place, man. And I like to think that, you know, we're doing our part at Solflare. I'm trying to do my part to make Solana and this world a better place, a better ecosystem, safer, you
I
know.
completely agree. Even in Super Team Brazil, like this chair, we talk a lot about this. Me and Kuka and Luke in Six, like it's not mine forever, and I don't want to be. I want to have good people to you know, like I want to prepare and help good people to get in, so I can do other stuff. Like I can do other things.
Yeah,
I
we
love
deserve to retire, man, you know.
yeah, you know, at
Yeah.
some point. But I'm not thinking about like in just like in a sense. Okay, are you leaving? No, it's not about that. But I want to have a lot of good people that could fit this chair, could fit this the what we're doing. You know, like and to achieve that, we need to educate a lot of people. We need to onboard a lot of people because we have amazing professionals everywhere in the world, like that only need to be onboarded, only need to know that we exist, that these companies exist. Uh, if I can ask you one more question, I don't know if you have the time.
Oh, dude, no, I could stay as
Yeah.
long as you need to right now. Yeah, we're vibing.
Okay.
Don't worry.
There's something that I'd love to ask you because you've seen a lot of projects start. You've been in the ecosystem for a while. Like, what do you think like are the best are the worst? Sorry, the worst mistakes those early stage companies do regarding to this go-to marketing strategy, marketing, much more like to this business side than the tech side. We're talking about the business side here, not about tech. If you could share some of like of oh, I've seen that a lot of teams like spending too much money on that, and I don't think it was a wise choice, something like that. I don't know what you look and what you think about the this question.
Yeah, and it's a great question. And there's no clear blueprint because every project's different and every project requires its own unique curated marketing strategy, and especially with go to market. But I'll speak on a few things that I do notice as like common, you know, common denominators of success in marketing. And the first and above all is community, especially in Web3. Like curating your community is extremely important, hearing their opinions. These are also your users and your strong user base and who's going to go to bat for you and be your marketing when you're not around. Because it's impossible to be everywhere on the timeline in all social places. But if you keep a strong community that speaks highly of you, 100%. That also is, I see a lot of teams like pouring huge amounts of money into KOL campaigns. And I necessarily don't agree with those. I think it's more on like what we're doing at Solflare is content creation through like curated like creators that have been working with Solflare for a long time, that genuinely like use the product and like will work it into their just normal content strategy. And that's like those are the best type of fits. You know, you want people to be in a symbiotic, you know, relationship with you, partnership with you, because you don't want people that are just there because it's a paycheck, you know, especially as like brand representatives, as ambassadors. And so that also is kind of bad with like a referral type system as well, because like if you're basing it just off, that's also, it could be good in certain situations, like for trading platforms. I know it could be very profitable for the person doing the referrals. But in a lot of sense, it's hard systems to work, and then there's always users that are upset, especially with like any types of like point systems that they'll do. And also, like, try to avoid a token at all costs, like until you absolutely need to distribute equity or do a raise. I would say there's no need for a token, especially right in this market condition. If you could put off a token for as long as possible, I would, because we've seen a lot of failures from that. But again, as well, it's like a circumstantial thing, because if you're raising or you're distributing equity, there's ways to go about it with like locking investing schedules as well. But I think from back to like a marketing business standpoint is you have to contribute to the ecosystem. You can't expect partnerships and support in the ecosystem without showing up and supporting those potential partners. So, people say there's not a huge, the events, like maybe don't have the biggest return on value on users, but they're the biggest return on value on partnerships. And, you can also make cool content and help establish like your culture a little bit stronger. So definitely get out to these events, network, because those are the best type of opportunities, and you help build the most trust as opposed to just virtual calls, virtual messages. Get to these events, sponsor some of the side events, and partner with some of these projects, and then curate those relationships. Like, it's about maintaining those partnerships, and it's not only one-sided. It can't only be like, hey, we need this integrated and it's only going to benefit us. It's like, how is this also going to help this platform's users? And maybe there's sometimes that they need a little bit more support than you do, but then it needs to flow both ways. So that's also super important. We've kept relationships with some of these projects for years now, like Monkey DAO, for example. Anytime they need to do an event, same thing with super teams, you guys need to do events, like we're there, we're helping the sponsor. And it's not like, oh, we just got 1,000 new users from this Monkey DAO dinner. It's like, no, but we helped affirm our relationship even stronger. And during that dinner, we had a few really meaningful connections and ways that we can work out together on future roadmap endeavors. And that's also super important, because a lot of this is like strategized. A lot of the announcements and collaborations you'll see took months of planning in advance behind the scenes. So curate these relationships, get out to events, and just be accessible, man. You got to be, especially at this stage in the game, you can't be like leaving DMs on red, not answering back, especially if you don't know who this user is. There are users that are multi-millionaires, 6, 7, 8-figure users that have 100-something followers, maybe no check mark. They might have a genuine question, that user that messaged you. Treat every single person with empathy. We have a saying in Solflare, like empathy for the billionth user. And we do mean that. When we onboard 1 billion users, we're still not going to be looking at the 1,000,000,001 users as exit liquidity. They still have just as much as an opportunity as everyone else. And then the last bit of advice that I would say, because I'm like going off too long, is don't burn bridges you need to rebuild in the future. And that's contrary to what other famous people in the space have said, that like let the burned bridges light the way. No, that's true. There have been times in the ecosystem where I've wanted to speak out on something and I've reserved, and that's been a big part of my brand, is I don't cause controversy. I don't get involved in the drama. Yeah, I have opinions on things, but I keep those on like spaces. I don't put them on the timeline and for everyone to like read and stuff. It's more, it's about, because I'm here long-term in the space, and there's been times where I've been really glad I've held back, because 2 years down the road, this person's working for a completely different project in a position that we need to work and collaborate on. And it would have been a lot more difficult to do if we had an animosity between us in the past from previous discrepancies, over something that is probably just emotional because it just passed anyway, So if you feel bad about something, you want to write that hateful tweet, type it out, go on a walk for like an hour, come back, you're not going to want to type it. You're not even going to want to deal with the responses that you would have gotten from posting that. And I've always kept that mindset. So don't burn bridges you'll need to rebuild. You'll never know what some position someone's going to be in the future. So it's just better just be cool with everyone, man. Don't, like me, I don't cause problems with anyone. I just try to support and help provide value when I can, and support wherever I can. And I wish I had more of me. That's the only thing. I'm trying to get AI and Claude to get that figured out. But until then, it's just me. I'm always here. And if you guys have more questions, I'd always be happy to answer and help out more, especially with one-on-one calls, especially for anyone from Super Team Brazil. you guys are my heart, man. Like I can't
Thank
even tell you how excited I am to see you soon.
I think you said something that I always tell people during this build stations, and now during the garage. Um, Listen to your community, listen to your user. Like, you're not building alone. When you start a project for users, not for companies, for users, you build for them, not for you. So you need to listen to them. You need to understand what they need, like what the community actually needs, not what just you want to build. And that's something that helped me to understand a little bit more of marketing on. And because of course you develop something that you want to use, but not necessarily you are like the mainstream user, or like the, and you need to understand what these group, like our main users, needs, like, and that's something that it took me a while to understand. When I was younger, I used to organize a surf championship, and for the first years I was always doing like, oh, I love this, oh, I think this is beautiful, oh, I think this is amazing. But it was not what the community wanted. It was not like what the vibe needed. When you start understanding that you need to build like, around the demand and not, of what you want, from your head, it gets easier, and it gets easier to understand marketing. No offense, but I completely agree with you about KOLs. I know that people love, doing amazing campaigns. I prefer using Earn and bringing small KOLs that want to grow and really, get a long term relationship with the companies, than paying crazy amounts of money to people to use your product one day, and they will get double next week to use your competitor. This for me is completely crazy. Uh, it's not that it's not never worked. It can work, but the ROI is so hard to calculate. Like every time, I think there are smarter ways to achieve that. And like you said, like, s- building the base, like starting from scratch, but with with a purpose. Okay, I'm starting here because I understand that these guys will be my, as Solflare, my guardians. They will do the job for me. Like they will feel like they are part of the team. That's how they should feel like. And I think, that's something that we're trying to put here with super team members. Like, I don't want to have a difference between a super team member and a super team core team. Like, I I only exist because of the super team members. If there wasn't the members, I wouldn't be needed. Like, we are in this together. Like, so we need to have quality. We need to have good super team members, not people that, like you said, just want to extract. I want true builders. I want, people that are coming for the long way. Um, and something that, I have some crazy ideas sometimes, and that's something that Kuka is always, uh, helping me on that, and he buys a lot of my craziness. So that's why we are here. What was the craziest like marketing idea you ever had, or like, for an example, something that you guys did, but you didn't think it would be so good and it went good, or the opposite, something that you were really hyped about and it was completely frustrating. Those kind of, good and bad, like you were expecting so good result and it went bad, or the opposite, you weren't thinking, you thought it was crazy and in the end it was the best idea. I'll give you my example. Uh, the white, the yellow t-shirt you have, the jersey, the super team jersey. I made it 2 days before we went to Abu Dhabi. I had another T-shirt that was ready, but the supplier called me 2 days before we travel, and he said me, okay, I won't be able to deliver it to you until next week. So I had a plan B 2 days before flying to Abu Dhabi, and I was okay. Like, what do I do now? Like, well, I need to think something and fast and do something that will make people remember us. And then I started doing things with Brazil. And the first time I sent to the supplier, the other supplier, he said, "Okay, no, I can do that. It's a Brazilian shirt. This is a crime. I can do the the legal one. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a new one, and then I was drawing like crazy with my designer in 15 minutes a new symbol for the Super Team Brazil, because it couldn't be the true Brazil symbol. And in the end, for me, was the best strategy we had in Breakpoint, because everybody knew that we were there. Like the yellow guys, the Super Team Brazil jersey was one of the most wanted merch of the event. Like everybody wanted to have a Brazilian jersey, and it was like a last minute idea because the plan A was unsuccessful, and I had to come with something. And my idea was the Brazilian jersey to drive attention, and in the end it worked, but much better than what I was expecting. Even Vibo came to me to talk. Okay, this is good marketing. You guys did a good job with this jersey. So even the big boss came to praise me, and I couldn't say to him, "Oh, this was a plan B, boss. Sorry."
Man, that's cool, dude. I had no idea that was the story behind the jerseys. I got one, so I'm extremely bullish, but I didn't know that like did one of the vendors was like, that's illegal. You can't. Like, what are you gonna go to jail? Like you're giving them out at Solana Breakpoint in Abu Dhabi. It's not even like where you are, dude. So that's like that's a funny story. Since I've been on marketing, I mean, honestly, there's been a lot. There's been a lot of things, and everyone saw like our presence at Breakpoint. Also, that was a huge expense for us, but it was extremely worth every single dollar, because having a lot of our team out there, having the presence that we did, giving out the shields, that was a little bit of a gamble, honestly, because we put in a lot to Breakpoint, and it was a huge success. Everything from the content to the relationships to the award ceremony that I hosted, it was absolutely incredible. I would say though, personally, like probably one of like the funniest things about like Web3 is you'll, especially being on socials, and if you're on marketing, I strongly advise creating a content calendar so that you have some sort of strategy for how you're going to go about socials and posting, and setting aside times for engaging as well, and also planning for upcoming updates and releases. But so one of the most infuriating things is that you'll work really hard copywriting on like a post, or, writing up a thread or something, working on an article, something that takes like a lot of like work. Now it's like with AI, but like a year ago, 2 years ago, it wasn't as like easy. I mean, it still kind of was, but still you have to put like a lot more work in. And like, I remember there was this 1 week, and like it was like during like Trump mania with the token and everything. And like we had like a few educational posts that went out, and like nothing hit. And like the boss was like, guys, like, the market's on fire right now. How come none of our posts are taking off? And so I just like randomly hop on and I just throw up a meme of like Trump with the background with like the Solana, he's like throwing up the fist, and he's like has like the Solana flags in the background, so the American flags. And it was like Trump woke up this morning, opened up his Solflare, and chose Solana. And that banged for like 130,000 impressions. And my boss was like, "Oh yeah, we need more content like this." I was like, "Damn, dude. Well, that I made in like a matter of like 45 seconds, and the other post took me like 4 to 5 hours, and I just like 30x'd it." It's like, damn, maybe you got to be a little bit more versatile in like your marketing approach, and understand that every socials has a different audience. Things that smack on TikTok don't always like work in Twitter, don't always work on YouTube. Sometimes content on YouTube doesn't work across like with Twitter or TikTok and stuff. And so you have to kind of curate and be willing to kind of just roll and understand, and not get frustrated if some things that you work extremely hard on end up not working out, because that's normally how things work. The more that you plan for something, the more things are going to go wrong out of your control, and it's always good to have a plan, but be ready to pivot, be ready to audible, and always keep learning, man. Always keep learning, dude. Yeah, that's my marketing story though. I'm trying to think of like some other ones. I try not to mess up too much though.
No, but this one was good because I say this a lot to people and to Kuka, because sometimes I get frustrated. I prepare for a month a content for with guys. Okay, I'm writing this. I'm doing this campaign, this strategy, and okay, 70 likes. and then I post us bald going to bald point. I had 15 seconds on my Claude to do that, and okay, boom, 300 likes. And okay, fuck, man, I spent the whole month to do something that I thought it would bang and nothing, and then I post us bald, and it's good enough for people to go crazy. So um, don't fight the audience. It's something that I started learning. Like, don't fight your audience. Like, don't try to push something just because you like. Uh, Try to understand timing. I think timing is amazing. Of course, like when, for example, bald point. I cannot post it today. It makes no sense. The bald, like you need to understand when to post and also when it's already exhausted, because sometimes people use something too much and nobody cares anymore. Like if you're one of the first to use it when time comes, do it. But if you are the last in the line, leave it and wait for the. I prefer to wait for the next event or the next timing event to join early. Otherwise, it's not viral. Like you just be the last guy. I don't like to be the last guy.
I'm with you, man. But I don't know. Sometimes going. I mean, yeah, it depends. It's because sometimes you could still kind of because like memes sometimes like will show up like a year or two later again. You know what I mean? So it is a lot timing, but yeah, you want to like definitely like act like when things are like strike when the iron's hot, but yeah, then also because the thing is I also get like upset like once like a trend like starts happening. Like remember when they were doing like the furry logos and everyone was using AI to make like those furry logos?
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, like this is what's popular, but it's kind of like I don't know. I kind of feel like mainstream and corny. It doesn't feel as
I
cool.
thought it was silly. I didn't do it. I thought it was
Yeah.
silly. I didn't
But
do it.
everyone does it, and everyone does it. That's just like a trend, So then it's like, I don't know. I think you should try to be like original. Definitely create like a character. And I mean, but it also depends on what like your content is. And I mean, what your brand is. Like with Solflare, we have to walk like a very fine line between being like degenerate and, we're a financial tech app that's aiming to replace, a lot of banking institutions in the future. And so like there is like a little bit of seriousness involved in what we're doing. But I think also like leveraging our ambassadors, like people that we partner with, to also be our voices, to have a little bit more independence, whether none of them are out like launching tokens on Pump Fund, but they're able to like speak a little bit more freely in the ecosystem, is a huge like weapon for marketing as well. And so that's why I mean like KOLs, like don't bother, like reward the people in your community that are the most outspoken and have the most potential for success and help them grow. That's what Solflare did for me. Was like they were like, okay, this Fox, he's really bullish on Solflare and he's pretty good at what he does. Let's grow with him. You know what I mean? And that develops like a loyalty. Like I'm until my last breath is download Solflare wallet. You know what I mean? So it's like that loyalty is deep now. And so I think that that's also extremely important as you're like curating your community and looking towards your next ambassadors. And like we spoke about earlier, like that chair, is going to be saddened by, one of the younger guys one day. And we told him that at Island Out. We straight up told him like one day we're going to retire and you guys are going to like, this is all going to be yours. Like the Lion King Mufasa moment, just don't go to the Ethereum side over there. We stay away from that side, but all this Solana is all yours, And so, but it's the truth, man. Like that's going to be awesome to pass down one day. And, but also, one of the last things I want to say that has been extremely helpful in this space with marketing, with business, with just growing in the ecosystem is be in control of your emotions. We're in a very emotional and volatile industry, and a lot of people tie emotions with their work, with their money. And when they put a lot of time and work or money into something and it doesn't pan out the way it's supposed to, they look, they let them, the judgment becomes clouded. You know what I mean? And so like stay in check with your emotions, understand most people are trying to do the best that they can and trying to also take care of themselves. But at the same time, we're in self-custody. There's no crying in the casino. Everything is your fault. You know what I mean? And the sooner you accept that, the better, off you're going to be. And just be patient on some things, like especially with the younger kids, like you were saying before, like you have to like you have to like process things and go through the process. And it's important. It's important to be patient. Your time comes, but in between, it's what you do at that time in between then. You're just going to sit there and twiddle your thumbs. You're going to get after it and start helping and contributing value, even if it's in areas that you don't know about. Even if it's something like, hey, this person needs help, I don't know, making some visuals with some memes. Well, I've never done it before, but guess what? I have AI, there's a bunch of tools, and I got some homies in the NFT Discord that are memeing all the time. Let me hit some of them up and get some advice. You know what I mean? And like figure it out and be of value. Even though that's not something that you're supposed to do, it's something that's needed for the project and the team at the time. So get it done, And I've always been about that. And that's why I'm in the position I'm in. So we're going to continue to keep it.
And no, you're completely right. Like I'm here for the exact same reason. Like Super Team Brazil was winded down on the end of 2024 for me's leading. I'll leave it that. And we had a gap of 6 months without anyone doing anything, and that was hurting me so much and hurting our the good community leaders we had. And then at some point, me, Kuka, and Sigs, we were three of leaders of the biggest communities around Brazil. Okay, we said, okay, if they don't want to do it, we're gonna do it. We don't need money. We don't need they to pay us. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna keep pushing the ecosystem. We're gonna be everywhere. We were in every event hosted by Solana last year. We were in Crossroads. I was in Crossroads. Kuka went to New York Accelerate. We the whole team was in Islandale, and then with the boys, and then we went to Breakpoint. We went to Solana Economic Zone 2 times. We went to Token 2049 with our own pocket. Okay, we need to pay for this first year. Okay, we're gonna make it happen. Like, okay, I understand I have a privileged situation that I made me I that I made of, like, it's not granted. I worked for it, and to get to this point and say, okay, we are putting all in, like we're gonna make this happen. So as soon as we had a new boss in town, like in Latin America, Antonio, the first thing he noticed, okay, these three guys, they are working their ass off. Let's give them a shot. Let's give them an opportunity to really do it on Super Team Brazil. And I completely agree with you. Like, do it. You don't need, if you cannot get paid now, keep doing. Do your best. Learn. Work with good people. Actually, try to be surrounded with people that understand things more than you do. That's where you're gonna learn. If you are always like the top, the most intellectual guy, like the top brain on your group, boy, I have something to say to you. You are dead. You need to be surrounded with people that inspire you, and you see, okay, I want to learn with this guy. That's what I always say this to Kuka. Uh, I don't know. I've been in Solana for 5 years, and I've never met someone more prepared to be Super Team Brazil leader than this guy. He is a legend. Like, just being around Kuka, we already start learning something. He's so passionate about Solana and the ecosystem, and he, as you said, he opened, he gave away everything. He had a nice job in New York City. He came back to the country when we decided to rebuild Super Team from scratch. We didn't have any money. He come to live in the countryside of São Paulo. We were for 1 year bootstrapping everything until things happen. So have people that surrounds you that you feel blessed to be there. Like, okay, it's an honor to be in this team. I feel honored to be selected to join this team of good people that are always teaching me new things. Lucas, I wouldn't be here without Cigarros. Like, Sigs is like the guy that introduced me everyone. He has no ego. You know, a person without ego, it's Lucas. Like, everyone that he knows, he passes through. Every contact, everything that he has, it's he offers to the ones he loves. And that's what makes us our team so special for me, because we have good people. They're always learning with them, with the others. So surround yourself. You guys that are building now like a new company through the hackathon. you need to have good people that you look around and say, okay, I want to work with this guy. I want to learn with him. I want to be with like him, like in a lot of ways, you know. So I think that's one of the most important things I would ever say to any group action, like be in an inspiring group.
100%, man. That was perfect, dude. You're a legend, Shimas, dude. The Super Team Brazil is very lucky to have you at the helm. You and Sigs. I'm very lucky to have met both of you at Island Owl. And anyone that's watching this that's in Brazil area, if you haven't joined Super Team Brazil already, man, you need to definitely stop by their event, check out what they're doing, meet the team, because you will definitely feel differently after meeting them. This call doesn't do you
Thanks for the
justice,
word.
man.
Thanks
Seriously,
for
you guys are
kind words.
incredible.
I don't want to take more time from you. I know you have a full schedule. First of all, I would like to thank you for your time, for your honest every time. Um, it's so important. You open a lot of space to us during Allendale for us to be there. And after that, you were not just a friend. You were someone that always made us remember that we had you. Like if you guys need me, I'm on the other side of the world, but I'm here for you guys. This is something that only a few people do. Like truly connecting in a point that you want us to thrive in no matter what. You want us to have a good work to help people here, and that's something that I makes me admire you even more. As not just the pro quicks. The pro quicks is a machine. Nothing to talk about the pro quicks, but the person, the man behind the fox, right? You're special. You're a special person. You're a special human being. It's an honor to be on this journey with you. Actually, just this, it's already an honor. Uh, Thanks for helping.
No,
Uh,
thank you guys so
bring
much, man. And
Solflare.
my socials at SoulQuicks on every platform at SoulQuicks, email, every socials, everything. Website, yeah, branding, very important. But I appreciate you, Shimas and Sigs. Thank you guys so much. I'm excited to see you guys really soon. I'm excited to be in Brazil for the first time later this year. And yeah, anyone feel free to shoot me a message, anything I can help with along your journey.
Thank you, my man. As you said, if you guys want to connect with Quicks, please look him at Twitter. Look him at all the socials. He's as you saw now, he's open to everyone that truly wants to build in Solana. So just be a nice guy, respectful. Send him a DM, and I'm pretty sure he will help in any way he can, as he always did to us. That's Solflare, what is our major sponsor here in the garage. The garage wouldn't happen without Solflare. It's important to say that, because that's true. It was the first sponsor we had for the garage, and Cody already said, okay, we are the main sponsors. If you guys need a main sponsor, that's us.
Yeah,
Like
we're not trying to share
starting,
that with another wallet. Yeah, no, we're definitely.
man, like this is amazing. Like nobody cared for us for a long time, and having this feedback, like having this opportunity to connect with you guys and have this kind of support, means the world to us. And I'm pretty sure it's just the beginning. I did a lot of things to Soulflare that you guys still don't know. A few tweaks I did in the garage for you, some surprises. I always like to over deliver, so expect the unexpected. It's gonna be a nice ride. Thanks for your time, Quicks. Please, your
I
last
appreciate you so
words.
much. No, thank you guys so much, and appreciate everyone that tuned in today. Appreciate all our familia out in Brazil and around the world. I'm excited to see a lot of you guys. If you're coming, really quick call to actions. If you're coming to Miami, I'll see you at Accelerate. Come find this Fox. If you didn't pick up a Shield, which is our self-custody hardware device, it's just a card, no batteries, Bluetooth, wires, or screens. Come find me. I got some merch for you. I got a Shield for you. Also, I'll be at Island Owl in June, and I'm not sure what's going down over the summer. I'm pretty sure we'll have some events, but you guys already know September and October, Solflare is going to be out in Brazil with this fox. I'm excited. Sao Paulo, Floripa, Rio. We're doing it all. We're going to eat barbecue everywhere. I love you guys so much. Anything you ever need, you always got this fox.
Thank you, Quicks, from the bottom of my heart. You're amazing. Thanks, Solflare family, for being so supportive to the Brazilians. And guys, you just had the most famous fox in the world. I hope you enjoyed. Every time you need, just shoot me. I'll talk to Quicks, and wait for September. He will be here for us, and we'll be doing this live stream again together in our studio in a few months. You're gonna watch.
I'm hyped for that. Yeah, that's going to be fun. We got to
Thanks,
get.
Fred.
I'm dressing you up in a suit, though. We're going to dress up.
Okay.
I'm going to dress you up.
But Quicks, bye guys. Thanks for your time. Thanks everyone. I'll see you in a few minutes with the Perena stablecoin workshop with our friends Sigs and Anna. See you.